All right, everyone, get ready because we are going deep into the world of AI.
Specifically,
R-
generative
Generative
AI.
AI, right,
Yeah.
for content operations.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of really interesting material for this
So
one.
do, yeah.
We've got actually tons of research papers, surveys from marketers.
Mm.
We've got examples from companies.
Yep.
We've got all kinds of really cool stuff to talk about.
Like how much content people are trying to make.
Yeah. And in fact,
Yeah.
one of the stats that we saw in this research is that 8 out of 10 marketers are actually planning to create more content next year.
It's exploding.
It's crazy,
The
right?
demand is huge.
So whether you're, just curious about AI or you're,
Mhm.
a seasoned content creator,
Mhm.
you're going to learn something in this deep dive.
Yeah, this is gonna change the game.
So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What is generative AI?
Okay, so imagine you have a computer and it's read the entire internet
Okay.
and it's learned all the patterns of human language.
Right. And now it can create new content based on your instructions.
Okay.
That's generative AI.
So it's like a robot Shakespeare that can write me a tome about
Pretty much.
short-term disability insurance.
Yeah. So instead of quills and parchment, it's using algorithms and data.
Gotcha.
And these AI systems are trained on these huge data sets.
Mm-hmm.
They learn how we humans put words and images together.
Okay.
And then using something called a prompt,
Okay.
we tell the AI what to do, and then it predicts what should come next.
So the prompt is like the instructions.
It's like a super specific
Fine.
creative brief.
Okay.
So let's say you want a blog post about, well, short-term disability insurance.
Yeah.
A really basic prompt would be,
Yeah.
write a blog post about short-term disability insurance.
Okay.
But you can get much more detailed than that.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can specify the tone,
Okay.
the style, the target audience.
Interesting.
You can even say things like, make it sound like it's written by a friendly pirate. A pirate writing about insurance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the AI.
But the AI really is only as good as the prompt you give it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like imagine you're the art director
Mhm.
for a super fast,
Okay,
super obedient artist.
Mm-hmm.
The clearer your vision is,
Yeah.
the better the AI can bring that to life.
So if I'm very specific
Yes.
with what I want,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be able to execute what I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
And
Gotcha.
one really interesting thing is that even small changes to keywords
Okay.
in a prompt, especially for these text-to-art generators,
Mhm.
can result in drastically different image styles.
Wow.
Like if you want a whimsical, dreamy illustration,
Right.
you need to specify that.
Wow.
If you need something bold and graphic,
Yeah.
make sure you say that too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got these prompts. We can give it to the AI,
Yes.
and the AI can create this stuff.
Yes.
But how are people actually using this in the real world?
So like how are real content teams
Yeah, really content teams.
using this?
Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest wins is idea generation.
Okay.
So picture this.
Yeah.
You are staring at an empty content calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I've been there.
Your brain is fried. You don't know what to write about.
Yep.
Just put a prompt like,
Yeah.
generate 10 blog post ideas about the benefits of short-term disability insurance
Into the AI.
into an AI tool.
And then boom,
So
you
that's
have a
one
list of
minutes.
topics to get you started.
That's amazing.
Right.
So it's like a brainstorming partner.
Yeah, like a brainstorming buddy
It never
who's always caffeinated.
gets tired.
Yes.
Okay, what else can it do?
Have you ever read a research paper that was so dense
Yeah,
that it felt like it was written in hieroglyphics?
all the time.
Generative AI can take that and turn it into something that anyone can understand.
Okay.
It can summarize the findings, create bullet points, even turn it into a cool infographic. So it can simplify things.
Yeah, make complex ideas easy for anyone to get. Make them
problem.
accessible.
So it's not just, robots taking over the world. It's actually helping us do our jobs better.
It's taking away the boring stuff.
What other things are content teams handing off to their AI assistants?
Visual content creation is another big one.
Okay.
You can say goodbye to scrolling through endless stock photo websites.
Okay.
With generative AI, you can just describe the image you want.
Interesting.
So you can say something like, I want a photorealistic image of a golden retriever wearing a birthday hat.
Okay.
And bam, the AI creates it for you.
And so that's using text to image.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's like having a personal illustrator available all the time.
That's incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like this AI is really, a superpower for content creators.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can't be perfect.
No, you're right. It's a tool.
Right.
Like any tool, it has its limitations. I think it's really important to remember that AI doesn't actually live in the real world.
Okay.
It can't do original research. It can't have real-life experiences.
Okay.
It's really good at mimicking patterns and creating variations,
Right.
but it doesn't have human intuition or understanding.
Okay.
So you can't just plug in a prompt and expect to get, like, prize-winning content.
Sorry.
It's more like having a super-powered typewriter.
Okay.
It can help you write faster,
Right.
cleaner, more efficiently,
Right.
but it's still up to you,
Yeah.
the human,
Right.
to come up with the big ideas, the emotional depth,
Okay.
the unique voice
Gotcha.
that makes your content really good.
So AI can't think of the ideas.
Right. That's still on us.
That's still on us.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we find that balance
Right.
between using AI and using our own creativity?
Yeah. How do we
What's that sweet spot?
find that balance?
Yeah.
That's kind of the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's something we're going to be talking about a lot during this deep dive.
Okay.
But one thing I think it's important to remember is that AI is changing incredibly fast.
Okay.
Something that seems like a limitation today
Right.
might not be a limitation tomorrow.
Wow.
So the key is to be curious, keep experimenting,
Yeah.
and remember that we are in control
Okay.
of how we use this technology.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah,
Well, I know that a lot of people have some anxieties
of course.
about using AI.
Yeah,
And some of those are Google penalties
yeah.
and plagiarism.
Right, yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Let's start with Google penalties.
Okay.
There's this myth that if you use AI,
Yeah.
Google's going to punish you.
Right.
But Google has actually said many times
Yeah.
that they care about the quality of the content,
Right.
not how it was made.
Interesting.
They've even said that using AI to create content is totally fine, as long as it's valuable, it's original, and it follows their guidelines.
So it's not about
Yeah,
trying to trick Google. It's just about
exactly.
creating good content.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what matters.
Okay. And then how about plagiarism?
Okay, so plagiarism.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how we talked about AI learning patterns
Yeah.
and generating variations?
Yeah.
That means that the risk of plagiarism is actually really low.
So,
The AI isn't just copying and pasting,
Gotcha.
it's creating new stuff
Okay.
based on the data it was trained on.
So it's not just pulling something
Right.
that already exists.
It's making something new.
It's actually creating something.
Yeah.
new. Okay.
Yeah.
But are there any,
Yeah.
safety features
Yeah, good question.
in place?
A lot of these platforms,
Okay.
including Jasper, have built-in plagiarism checkers.
Oh, okay.
So they will flag anything that looks suspicious.
That's great.
And if you're ever unsure,
Yeah.
you can always run your content through a separate checker.
For peace of mind.
Yeah, for extra peace of mind.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a lot better
Good.
about using AI.
Yeah.
But I know that some people are still a little hesitant.
Yeah.
I think they're afraid
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the AI-generated content will lack that human touch
Right.
that makes content
Really good.
really good.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people?
I think it's completely understandable to be a little hesitant
Yeah.
when there's this powerful new technology.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really important to remember that AI is a tool, like
Right.
any tool.
Right.
It can be used for good or bad. It's
Yeah.
up to us, the humans,
Right.
to guide it
Okay.
and to use it responsibly.
So it's not AI versus humans.
Exactly.
It's AI and humans
It's AI and humans working together.
working together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, think of it this way.
Okay.
AI can free us from the boring,
Yeah.
repetitive tasks, so we can focus on the stuff that makes us human.
Right.
Creativity, empathy, strategic thinking.
And taking care of the stuff we don't want to do
Exactly.
so we can focus on the stuff we do.
Yeah, so it's about amplifying our strengths.
Okay.
Not replacing them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like it's giving us these keys to this
Mhm.
content spaceship,
Yeah, I like that.
but we're still the pilots.
We're still in control.
We're still in control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So we're back.
Back in the AI content world.
Back in the AI content world. We've talked about what generative AI
We've busted some myths.
busted some myths.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how we can use this
How we can really use it.
to really kind of level up our content game.
Yeah, one of the most powerful things
Yeah.
is using AI to turn one piece of content into a whole campaign.
Okay.
It's like having this like built-in strategist.
Like a built-in content strategist
Yeah.
who's on call 24/7.
Exactly.
I like that.
So let's say you've written this amazing blog post about saving for retirement.
Okay, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it just sit on your website,
Right.
you can give it to an AI
Okay.
and say, turn this into social media posts.
Okay.
Turn this into email snippets.
Gotcha.
Even a script for a short video.
Oh, wow.
And it can do that.
So you can take one blog post and turn it into all
You just
these
take one blog post
different pieces of content.
and you turn it into a multi-channel campaign.
That's amazing because that's one of the hardest things
It's so much work.
as a content creator is to constantly be creating new stuff.
And this saves you so much time.
Yeah, so this is basically saying you can take one piece of really high quality content
Exactly.
and then repurpose it.
Repurpose it for all these
For everything.
And you can personalize it for different audiences.
Oh, wow. So you can even personalize it
Yes.
using AI.
So the AI can look at data about your audience, figure out what they're interested in, what they're struggling with,
and then tailor the content.
and then it can create content specifically for them.
So it's like a mind reader.
It is.
Okay.
So let's say you have a lead who's really into sustainable living.
Okay.
You can give their data to the AI
Okay.
and say, create a series of emails with tips for reducing their carbon footprint.
And it'll just make it.
And boom, you have a personalized email sequence.
That's incredible.
It's super powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can personalize content. We can repurpose content.
Mm-hmm.
What else can this AI help us with?
What about breaking down language barriers?
Okay, language barriers, yeah.
AI translation tools have gotten really good.
Okay.
You can translate your blog posts, marketing materials, even your whole website into multiple languages.
But are those translations good enough
That's a good question.
to actually use?
They're not perfect.
Okay.
They might miss some of the nuances of humor.
Or cultural references.
Okay.
But for a lot of things,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic starting point.
Okay.
It can bridge the gap.
Okay.
And then you can have a human translator come in
Right.
and make sure it sounds really natural.
So it's not perfect,
Not yet.
but it can give you
But it can give you...
a really good head start.
Okay, and it can also
Yeah.
save you a ton of time and money.
So much time and money.
Because translations can be really expensive.
They're expensive.
So, I mean, this is really,
Yeah.
helping to solve a lot of the problems
It's solving so many problems.
that content creators have.
I know, right?
Like language barriers, that's a huge one.
Huge.
Repurposing content, I mean,
Time consuming.
that's a huge one. And this is taking care of all that for us.
Exactly. And don't forget about A/B testing.
Oh, right, A/D testing.
Yeah.
So that's where you create
So you can create like 10 different versions
multiple versions
of your ad copy
or your landing page
to see which one performs better.
to see which one performs best.
Okay.
And AI can do that so fast.
So AI can create those variations for us.
It can generate all the variations.
That's amazing.
And then you can test them.
So it takes the guesswork out
It takes all the guesswork
of
out.
what's going to work best.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's super helpful.
Well, this is incredible.
I know. It's really exciting.
I do want to address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
You know, there are some people who are hesitant to jump on this AI bandwagon.
I get that.
Maybe they're worried about AI taking over their job or
Sure.
becoming too powerful. So
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
I think it's totally natural to be a little hesitant
Yeah.
when there's this new powerful technology.
Mm,
I think it's important to remember
yeah.
that AI is a tool, and like any tool,
Right.
it can be used for good or bad.
Right. We can use a hammer
Right, exactly.
to build a house or...
We
Exactly.
can use it to break something.
It's up to us
It's up to us.
how we use it.
So it's not AI versus humans.
Right. It's not about that.
It's about
AI and humans.
AI and humans working together.
Working together.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Yeah. How do we work together?
How do we work together?
I think one of the most important things is to remember that AI can free us
Okay.
from these boring, repetitive tasks.
Right.
So we can focus
Okay.
on what makes us human.
Okay.
Things like creativity, empathy, strategic thinking.
The stuff that AI can't do.
Exactly.
So it's handling all the stuff we don't want to do.
Yeah.
So we can do all the stuff that we're good at.
The stuff that only we can do.
Okay.
It's about amplifying our strengths,
Okay.
not replacing them.
Okay. I like that.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership, not a takeover.
Exactly.
Okay. That's a really good way to think about it.
Yeah. So instead of being afraid of it,
Yeah.
We can use it to our advantage. Absolutely.
We can use it to make our jobs easier
Yeah.
and more fun.
So let's talk about the how.
Okay, the how.
How do we integrate this AI
Yeah.
into our workflow?
One of the best things you can do is to start small.
Okay, start small.
Don't try to change everything at once.
Okay, so don't go crazy.
Just pick 1 or 2 areas
Right.
where you think AI could really make a difference
Okay.
and experiment.
Okay, so just try it out.
Just try it out.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Okay, what are some good areas to start with?
Think about the tasks
Yeah.
that you find the most tedious or time-consuming.
Right.
Maybe it's writing product descriptions.
Okay, yeah.
Or coming up with social media captions.
Right. That's a good word.
Brainstorming blog post ideas.
That's a good one.
All of that stuff AI can help with.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it can save you so much time.
So should we just give everything to AI and let it do its thing?
I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool,
Right.
not a replacement
Oh.
for human judgment.
Gotcha.
So we still need to be involved.
Okay.
We need to give direction.
Right.
We need to make decisions.
So we need to be the ones steering the ship,
Exactly.
not just letting it
We're a captain.
go on autopilot.
Yeah, we're the captain.
Okay, so it's a partnership.
It's a partnership,
Right, not a replacement.
not a replacement.
Okay, that's good.
And the more we understand about AI,
Yeah.
the better we can use it.
So we need to educate ourselves
Educate ourselves.
about how it works.
Yeah,
Is
and
it-
there are so many resources available.
Okay.
Online courses, tutorials, communities.
So it's not that hard to
It's easy to learn.
find this information.
Very easy.
Okay.
So, as we're going on this journey,
Yeah.
what are some things to keep in mind?
Yeah. What are some of the most important things?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
AI is always changing.
Okay.
What's cutting edge today might be old news tomorrow.
So we have to stay up to date.
Stay curious, stay informed,
Okay.
and be willing to adapt.
Right. Because it's constantly changing.
It's constantly changing.
But we need to constantly be learning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Right.
Try different tools.
Yeah.
Different prompts.
Right.
Different approaches.
See what works.
See what works best for you.
And your business.
And your business.
Okay.
And your content goals.
Okay.
Remember, AI is a tool,
Right.
but it's still just a tool.
Okay.
It's up to us
Yeah.
how we use it.
We're the ones making the decisions.
It's use it to be more creative,
Okay.
to connect with our audience,
Okay.
to create content that matters.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about how AI can help us create content,
Yeah.
but how is it changing?
How is it changing?
How people consume?
Yeah, how people consume.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One of the biggest changes is personalization.
Okay.
AI recommendation engines
Right?
are getting really good
Yeah.
at figuring out what we like,
Okay.
even before we know we like it.
So they're showing us things
They're suggesting things
that we're interested in
that we might like
based on what we've looked at before.
based on our past behavior.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
So it's kind of like it's reading our minds.
It's like having a friend
Right.
who knows your taste in movies better than you do.
Yeah.
But that friend is an algorithm,
Okay.
and it's not just about what we consume passively.
Okay.
AI is making content
Yeah.
more interacting.
More interactive. Okay.
Remember those choose your own adventure books?
Oh yeah.
Now imagine that,
Right.
but powered by AI.
Okay.
So it's tailoring the story based on your choices.
So it's not static.
It's dynamic.
It's dynamic, right? And it's
It changes based on what you do.
changing based on what you do in the story.
So it's more immersive,
Okay.
more personalized.
So the lines between content creators and
Yeah.
content consumers are blurring.
They're blurring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
So we've talked about a lot today,
yeah, we've covered a
a
lot.
lot of different aspects.
Yeah, a lot of different aspects of AI.
Yeah, from
Um,
the basics
The basics of generative AI to,
to how it's impacting content creation
yeah, and how it's impacting how people
and content consumption.
consume content.
Yeah,
And how AI is going to change things.
it's changing everything.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. But I think one of the things I want to make sure
Okay.
we touch on
Yeah.
is using AI
Yeah.
responsibly and ethically.
That is crucial.
It's such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure we're using it
For good.
for good.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
Right. It's not just about
what AI can do,
what it can, but what it should do.
what it should do.
Yeah.
We need to be asking
We need to be asking
the tough questions.
the tough questions about how
Yeah, how is this going to impact society,
AI is going to impact society,
the economy,
what it even means
even what it means
to be human.
to be human?
Right. And these
Right questions.
big questions with with no easy answers.
We know easy answers.
But I think the most important thing is that we're having the conversation.
Often the conversation.
We're talking about these things.
Talking about it openly.
Openly. And honestly.
Honestly.
Yeah. So that
So we can figure out that
I'm pretty sure we're using it
to use it.
for the right reasons.
Yeah, for the benefit of everyone.
For the benefit of everyone.
Not just a select few.
Not just a select few.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as AI continues to evolve,
Mm-hmm.
we need to stay informed,
Right.
stay engaged, and stay committed.
Committed to
using
it for good.
for good.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, on that note,
yeah.
we're going to wrap up this part of the deep dive.
Okay.
But when we come back,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about
We're going to talk about
some specific strategies
some practical advice
for using AI
for how to actually use AI
in your content strategy.
in your day-to-day.
In your day-to-day work.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we've talked about all this crazy stuff AI can do.
It's pretty wild, right?
It really is. And it's got me thinking,
Yeah.
if AI is taking over all the technical parts of content creation,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean human creativity is obsolete?
That's a great question. And I actually think it's the opposite.
Okay, how so?
I think human creativity is
Right.
more important now than ever.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So think of it like this.
Oh,
The
yeah.
AI can handle the boring stuff,
Right, like what kind of stuff?
like, basic product descriptions,
Okay.
social media captions.
Right.
It can crank those out all day long.
Right, but AI can't think of those ideas.
It can't come up with, the really creative stuff, the
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
makes people feel something.
So AI can't be funny.
Well, sometimes it can be funny by accident,
Right.
but it can't be intentionally funny.
Right, okay, so
Can't tell stories.
I can't tell stories.
Not really.
Ah.
It can't have those weird, unique ideas
Right.
that make people go, whoa, that's cool.
So AI is kind of like the sous chef.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Right. It's prepping all the ingredients,
Yeah.
but it's the head chef.
Yeah, the human.
The human is the head chef.
That's adding all the flavor,
the creativity.
the creativity, right? So,
Yeah, it's like it can help you with grammar.
Mhm.
It can help you with structure.
Okay,
It can even translate things,
right, but it can't come up with,
but it can't tell you what to write about.
Yeah.
The ideas.
it can't give you the human experience.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So AI can't replace
Yeah, exactly.
that human element.
Nope, that's still on us.
Okay, so
And actually, I think in a world where everyone's using AI to create content,
right.
that human element
Yeah.
is going to be even more valuable.
Because it's going to be the thing
That's
that
going to be what makes you stand out.
makes you stand out.
Yeah, think about those viral videos that everyone shares.
Yeah.
They're not usually technically perfect,
Right.
but they have this raw emotion
Right?
or humor.
Right, like real people.
Yeah, real people being themselves.
Mean themselves, yeah.
And that's something AI can't replicate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we need to find that sweet spot
Yeah, find that balance.
between AI doing its thing
Mm-hmm.
and us being creative.
It's all about using AI
Yeah.
to enhance our creativity,
Okay.
not to replace it.
Okay, I like that. That's a really good distinction.
Yeah, it's imagine an architect
Okay.
using AI to design a building.
Okay.
The AI can,
Yeah.
optimize the structure,
Okay.
calculate all the load-bearing stuff,
Mhm.
even suggest materials.
Okay.
But it's the architect
Right.
who's bringing the artistic vision,
The human.
the human,
Okay.
who understands how people are going to use the space.
Right. So they're the ones coming up with the ideas.
Exactly.
And AI is just helping them execute.
AI is the tool.
Okay.
The architect is the artist.
I like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's humans and AI
Humans and AI working together.
working together, not
Nice team.
humans versus AI.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that's why I think this is such an amazing time to
Yeah.
be a content creator,
Okay.
because AI is giving us these superpowers.
Right, but it's up to us to use them.
It's up to us to use them wisely.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI is changing the way we create content,
Mm-hmm.
but how's it changing the way people experience
How are people experiencing
content?
differently?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest changes is personalization.
Okay, personalization.
AI recommendation engines
Yeah.
are getting so good
Right.
at figuring out what we like,
Yeah. It's crazy how
even before we know we like it.
Netflix knows exactly what I want to watch.
Right.
It's kind of scary sometimes.
It's like magic,
Yeah.
but it's just data.
It's just data.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically using our past behavior to recommend
To predict
what we're going to like.
what you're going to want to watch next.
Okay. And how else is it changing?
And it's not just about
Yeah.
passive consumption anymore.
Nope.
AI is making content more interactive.
We're interactive. Okay.
Remember those choose your own adventure books?
Oh, yeah. I loved those.
Yeah.
I used to read those all the time.
So now imagine that,
Okay.
but powered by AI.
Okay.
So it's tailoring the story
Right.
based on your choices.
So it's not just a static
It's dynamic.
story. It's dynamic.
It's changing.
It's changing based on what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're not just
Yeah. Yeah.
reading or watching.
It's not one-way communication anymore.
We're actually participating.
We're participating.
We're part of the experience.
Okay, that's really cool.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the line between
Yeah.
content creator
Mm-hmm.
and content consumer.
It's getting blurry.
It's getting blurry,
Yeah.
which is really exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think, we've covered so much ground
You've gone deep.
in this deep dive, and I
Yeah.
think it's so important
Yeah.
that we talk about this stuff.
Right. These are
Big changes that are happening.
So big change.
And they're not going away.
AI is here to stay. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's one big takeaway
Okay.
you want our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that this is still a human story.
Okay.
AI is a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's up to us
Right.
how we use it.
It's not the other way around.
Exactly. We're still in control.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
All right.
we're going to wrap up this episode
Okay.
of the deep dive. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, the
Yeah.
future of content is
Is up to us.
up to us.
We get to decide.